Hello and welcome to Focus on Liberia. I'm Ansony Sieh, as always, on Tuesday with the Hour of Politics here at Focus on Liberia, where we educate, we elevate, and promote all things Liberia. Of course, we do promote all things Liberia. Welcome to the broadcast. Hit that share button. If you are watching us on YouTube, we encourage you to also share. Mr. Francis, though, is seated. I was listening to somebody in the same business that I'm in, and the person told me Francis Doe is a prolific podcaster. He does it with a frequency that no one does it with. Mr. Doe is a supporter of JMB, that is Vice President Joseph Boakai. Mr. Doe believes Mr. Boakai is the right man for the job. Mr. Doe, welcome to Focus on Liberia, and I know you are joining me from Canada. Unmute yourself and welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Sieh. It's an opportunity to be on your platform this afternoon. Actually, nice meeting you again. You're a good friend of me. We've been a friend for a long time, behind the scene, for a long time. We've been in a struggle for a long time. Also, at a certain point of time, you became independent. But for me, I had to take a side, so today is an opportunity to be on Focus on Liberia. So thank you very much. Thank you for hosting me today on your platform. Thank you. And I actually honored to be a supporter of Joseph Boakai. I know that Ambassador Boakai is a great person to move the country forward. I have no doubt about that. Thank you.
Thank you, Francis, for joining us here. And I believe this is your first time on Focus on Liberia.
Yeah.
So we will welcome you with our ceremonial cola. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. So yesterday was Valentine's Day. And, happy Valentine's to you. You are a brother. We are in arms for a better Liberia.
Thank you.
How was your Valentine, by the way?
So, Mr. Sieh, I don't do Valentine's Day, just a busy day, because like when you look at the situation in Liberia, most of us came from a third world country. We had nothing to celebrate when we see that in the Western world, because the only day Valentine's Day for people that live in the Western world, they go see their family, they share love with their friends and family. But special people are some of us that came from the third world country, very difficult. So we are very lonely. Like I have so many friends, but so many people are lonely because you don't have a grandfather, you don't have a grandmother, you don't have a friend that you could share with. Some people are very lonely. So it's not something for me to celebrate. So I really think for me it was okay, but I actually fall in solidarity with some of our brothers and sisters that don't have a friend yet to celebrate. So sometimes it was good for me. Somehow it was good for me, but somehow it wasn't good for me at all.
Francis, I agree with you. For me, I am a traditional guy. I believe in our ancestors. The Western world has done well for itself, and I envy them in a good way. But I want to be able to celebrate who we are as a people, Africans. Everything about the Black race, I want to be able to celebrate that. When it comes to Valentine, they say it's about love. I get that. But I mean, from Liberia, what is that for me to celebrate? So I couldn't agree with you more. Well, folks, let us get started. The topic for today's discussion is a rematch between Vice President Joseph Boakai and President George Weah comes 2023. If elections were held today, or if the presidential election is today, who will win in this rematch? We know in the last general and presidential election, Mr. Weah and Mr. Boakai went into the runoff. At the end of that election season, Mr. Weah pulled a decisive victory against Vice President Joseph Boakai. So Weah was laughing while the folks in Boakai's camp were mourning politically. But now this is an opportunity. Will Joseph Boakai get the last laugh, or will Weah snatch another victory? Francis is here and to help me answer the questions that we have for Team Boakai. Since he is a supporter, maybe he knows a lot that we don't know. Maybe he sees a lot that we don't see. He will be able to help us. So, Francis, let's get started. My first question to you, do you know Jose Human Boakai? And if yes, who do you know him to be?
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Sieh. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, my support for Ambassador Boakai is not like, let me just do the disclaimer.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just do the disclaimer very well, Mr. Sieh.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know Ambassador Boakai in person to say I know him in person.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, the mindset of we Liberian have is that when we have personal connection with people, we interact with people, we interact with a person, we take a person to be a good person. Mm-hmm. But in a real world, in a leadership, you can judge people from long distance, from their appearance, the way they conduct themselves, from their past up to their present. Then you can make a determination. My support to Ambassador Boakai is not by me having a personal connection with Ambassador Boakai. That conflict of interest first of all, because I'm not supporting him because I'm supporting the country. I'm supporting him because I have a personal relationship with him. Okay. My support for Ambassador Boakai is to support the country. And I believe that Ambassador Boakai is the right person to move the country, looking at a track record. I'm supporting Ambassador Boakai on a track record, not as a personal relationship. Someone who put as support political party because some of the people, they have personal interest, they have personal relationship with the party. That's a conflict of interest. So I don't support Ambassador Boakai on a conflict of interest basis. That I have a relationship with Ambassador Boakai. I speak to him for him to influence my decision. I just do it because of conviction.
You do it because of conviction. You look at his track record. That is the key there. So talk to me about what kind of track record that Mr. Boakai has that convince you that he can make a good president for Liberia. What are the track records and what are the qualities in him that you admire?
When I look at the leadership, what I support Ambassador Boakai, I look at, first of all, in leadership, you get three different characters that leader possess. Mm-hmm. You don't look at how the leader dress or how the leader eat, what you eat, because the way you dress is your own person. It's still not benefit you, right? If people look at you. Mm-hmm. But your leadership ability. I support Ambassador Boakai leadership ability. Number one, a temperament. Ambassador Boakai have a good temperament, and those are the people you want to be leader, because before they take a decisive decision, they not just take a decision in a rush. And second, a political track record within the Liberian political landscape. He may not be perfect. He may not be 100. No human being is 100% in the world. You may not find 100% human being. So, but when you look at someone that doing 75%, it's your responsibility to actually giving a moral support, because at least you're doing 75%, you pass the threshold. Some people are doing barely minimum of 40%. So if it was a passing grade, I would pass Ambassador Boakai on 75%. And if it was in the class, the teacher will actually pay attention to you because you're taking your lesson serious and you're studying and actually focusing on the lesson and you're focusing on what the professor is saying. That's what I'm supporting Ambassador Boakai, because I think that Ambassador Boakai is actually following the track record in Liberia and actually following the political track record in Liberia. And for him be an old man, still actually have an interest in Liberian politics. Because when you look at the track record from the time he was agriculture minister, all these things, he may not be perfect. He may not be 100% perfect, because in your working side, you can make mistakes sometimes. And sometimes in politics, people capitalize your mistake. But I think is actually when I was agreeing, if I was agreeing in Ambassador Boakai between the good and the bad, I can say the good oversee the bad. So that's what I'm supporting Ambassador Boakai.
So let's talk about decision making. And you said the good overweight or oversees the bad.
Yeah.
That comes to decision making.
Mm-hmm.
In the last election, Mr. Boakai chose Nukwe.
Mm-hmm.
Some people believe that decision hurt him so much because Tiawon Gonglo, who happened to be a more popular and respected person, was right there. We understand that Boakai met with him, but he chose Nunkwe instead of Tiawan Gonglo. Some people say he chose Nunkwe because Nunkwe had money and Tiawan did not have money. You think that was a good decision?
I don't. Let me say this thing. Before I answer that question, I had to elaborate on that question before I answer the question. Ambassador Boakai 2023, Ambassador Boakai should lose the election regarded either way. Whether he choose
2017.
Whether he choose Tiawan Gonklu, whether he choose whatever he choose, because this is the first time in the history that you have a president that's supposed to support a sitting vice president left and start supporting the opposition. So you can't blame the vice president position of being the downfall. Manasari was the downfall in Ambassador Boakai, because technically Manasari should support Joseph Boakai. I don't care Ambassador Boakai. I don't care who support. I don't care Emmanuel Nukwe, who he carry as a vice president. United Party was crippled already because of the mistake, some of the calculated mistake Ambassador Manasari made, a past record. So people are judging United Party by the past record and looking at all the shaping, all the blame on Ambassador Boakai, because Ambassador Boakai was crucified for Unity Party government. So at that point of time, and Manasari turned around and started crucifying Ambassador Boakai too, and supporting a major opposition party in the country against your vice president. I don't care, you try, even say carry Tiawan Gonklu where he wasn't to work, because Manasari actually sold the vice president out to other parties. So that's what happened. That's what made Ambassador Boakai to lose the election. I don't care. I don't think that because of Emmanuel Nukwe or Tiawan Gonklu, I don't think that was a fault.
All right. I get that. You said, it didn't matter who you have chosen. He was going to lose the election anyway. And you said your major reason was because Ellen Johnson Sirleaf was, trying to put your words using my own words here. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf was staffing Ambassador Boakai in the back.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf and Joseph Boakai relationship. We all know it's not good. The two of them may try to pretend, but you and myself, we are all smart people. It's not good, because if that were good, then Ellen would have supported Boakai. Even as we speak, there's no signs that Ellen is supporting Boakai. Boakai worked for Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, and I continue to say very loyally for 12 years. So we can say that Ellen knows Boakai more than any of us. There got to be something that Ellen knows about Boakai that we don't know. And maybe that thing scares Ellen. That is why she's not supporting Mr. Boakai. So if Ellen cannot support Mr. Boakai, does it say more about Joseph Boakai that maybe he's not competent enough to lead the country, for which Ellen is not supporting him? Or you think the problem is Ellen?
1 second. Let me put my, 1 second. Let me grab my phone. My phone. Right.
Yeah. Lock it.
1 second.
Take your time, Francis. Take your time. And folks, if you are just joining us, welcome to Focus on Liberia. My name is Ansony here hosting. This is the Hour of Politics. My guest is Francis Doe, a supporter of Joseph Yeman Boakai.
Okay. Mr. Sieh, your question, the question I hear, thank you for that question. You know, there's a question, there's a parable that say, look, when you in the daytime, when you see the frog crossing the road with speed, you should know that something behind the frog.
Something is running behind the frog.
Either the snake chasing the frog or fire chasing the frog. So when you see Ellen Johnson Sirleaf running away from her own vice president, you should know something, she's running away from something. Because Ambassador Boakai is the one that should be escaping from Manasari. Or a second, this is what is happening. Manasari is trying for Ambassador to come actually control.
So
Manasari.
Are you sure it's Ellen that running away from Boakai, or is it Boakai that's running away from Ellen?
Ellen Johnson is the one that running away from Ambassador Boakai, because Ellen had nothing to hide to support Ambassador Boakai.
And why 100%. You think she's running away?
She run away because of how she run the government. Because she look at Ambassador Boakai to be an insider, to be a major threat. She look at Joga to be an outsider. She look at Ambassador Boakai to be an insider. So what happening to Manasari? One, she look at Ambassador Boakai to be an old elderly guy that waiting. This guy is live your life. He's old right now. He can do whatever he can be. He can be reckless with the government. He can prosecute me. He can do a whole lot of different things. So he just don't look at. So he rather support young guy that young that because of Joga, he can look at Joga and say he have a long political future in the country. But with Ambassador Boakai, this is do or die. So Manasari doesn't want to go with it, do or die mission because Ambassador Boakai become president in the country and start all letting her, taking all the everything, compensate everything for her. So she look at the rate. The rate is more great. The rate of her supporting Ambassador Boakai is more greater than supporting other political party in the country because you look at the political party, they have a feature, they have a long feature.
So Ellen Johnson Sirleaf was the one who made Mr. Boakai now to be a national candidate. And Ellen was not afraid of Boakai for 12 years. Ellen was not afraid of Boakai when they were in CWA. That now Ellen will be afraid of Mr. Boakai? And for
but Mr. Say that me carry the argument. If me you used to be in school, your character in school is different. When me you start working to an office that we manage other people's property and manage other people's organization that had to do with politics.
Are you saying Boakai has changed?
The character change.
So Boakai has changed.
What I think is that Manasari look at a shortcoming, like Ambassador Boakai. You know, when you commit sin against God, there's no way that you can. And the only thing is to surrender to God and tell God, forgive me. Manasari doesn't want to have for forgiveness or the Liberian police commit crime against the country. The woman that said, "Brand the executive marshal, who's going to build an executive marshal." Today, no electricity in the country, no safe drinking water in the country. The lady said she said she was fighting for women right in the country. How many rape cases in the country since she left from power? Same Manasari were in the country. How many rape cases she prosecuted? So she got lots of, you know, when you carry SS bucket. So Manasari is carrying SS bucket, so she don't want somebody to actually empty the bucket.
So Francis, do you trust that should Ambassador Vice President Boakai be elected president, do you believe that he will actually audit their government that he was part of and go as far as even prosecuting people who will be found guilty of any financial wrongdoing, and that one of those persons would be Ellen Johnson Sirleaf? Do you believe Ambassador Boakai can do anything like that?
That's the only reason that Ellen Johnson is not supporting Ambassador Boakai, because Manasari look at Ambassador Boakai to be the major threat. I mean, major threat, because Manasari doesn't have control. Because if you're running an organization, for you actually to have control over the organization, Manasari want to bring government as you're going to have a control over the government to instruct people do they. But with Ambassador Boakai, you look at the experience of Ambassador Boakai, you can't easily control this man. So it's going to be a major threat. So for me, I can guarantee you 99% Ambassador Boakai become president in the country today, all in Manasari, and actually prosecute most of those people. And I believe that Ambassador Boakai will take 90% of the people that die Ambassador Boakai today by surprise.
Francis, you know, we have to look at some examples. Like you now, you say you are supporting Mr. Boakai because of his track record. That's something you look at before you made that determination, right? So for anybody to agree with you, the person have to look beyond and see where Mr. Boakai has been able to hold anybody accountable for wrongdoing. So Mr. Boakai had the perfect opportunity. When Mo Ali got into an unwholesome relationship with a young girl, he was the party secretary general. Mr. Boakai did not say anything. You were talking about Ellen Johnson Sirleaf and talking about rape, how she didn't do enough. This was Mr. Boakai, as head of the Unity Party, that had a great opportunity to show that he will hold anybody accountable for wrongdoing. When Mo Ali misbehaved, Mr. Boakai did not utter any single word. That young girl was being forced to do what she's not supposed to do. Mr. Boakai didn't say anything. How will Boakai, who cannot do, I mean, this was like a low-hanging fruit. He didn't say anything. He didn't do anything. He allowed it to slide. This is the man you think would be able to prosecute Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. I don't want to be.
Mr. Sieh, thank you. Right after that thing happened, because first of all, this is boyfriend and girlfriend business. Ambassador Boakai is not responsible to go out there and detail him because this is the party chairman. This is a feeling. The girl was about 18 years, wasn't below 18 years. Mo Ali, they don't rape. You say you have a right to pregnant woman that you want to pregnant. If you have a girlfriend, you have a wife, you leave your wife there, you can go actually and cheat on your wife and do whatever you want to do. It's not Ambassador Boakai's responsibility to tell you. Mo Ali done nothing wrong to the party. Mo Ali tried to steal money from the party or actually damage something from the party. You should say Ambassador Boakai did not take action. But Mo Ali personal life, Ambassador Boakai had nothing to do with Mo Ali personal life. They suspend Mo Ali, which I think was very wrong for them to suspend him because this is personal. Mo Ali, why should have problem with that? No, the party having a problem. Mo Ali have a wife. This is a personal life. This is a relationship. Because Mo Ali is a party associated with Ambassador Boakai, it doesn't mean that Mo Ali should not go out there and drink and have fun.
Well, Francis, you are pointing fingers against President Weah for what was allegedly said and written in a book. You are going after President Weah that he was wrong.
No,
I don't think that. After President Weah and accuse him of loving to Jackie Appiah.
Yeah.
And I would think many other people you accuse him of because you said the man is married, he's a leader, he should be able to behave well.
Yeah.
But now when it comes to Mo Ali, you say, oh, that a personal life. Can we say
but no Ambassador Boakai are doing loving around. I'm holding the political part, the political leader of CDC responsible because he's a leader. I'm not saying Moruba killed Moru, you know, I'm not girlfriend Moruba all over there. If I were thinking we should be chasing Moru, I don't get time. These are only the focus point. Ambassador Boakai should be in a condition and be saying Ambassador Boakai, you put Ambassador Boakai in a situation, you should be asking me this question. I never went after Moruba to say Moruba, I thank your friend. You just waste your time.
So you are saying, let's bring the Momba Molu revelation that President Weah will exchange sex for job to appoint somebody. That was a big revelation. And may include us say, no, this is not right. I mean, this is not right. How is that different from Mo Ali, Secretary General, serving his party that Mr. Boakai is head of, and he has a relationship. He has and he leaves a family. And he leaves a family, and now he's having another affair with somebody. You know, many people do that, but this is accountability.
But Mo Ali is not saying Ambassador Boakai is recruiting people in the party, having sex with them, giving them position. But Mo Ali only go out there to go have fun, and by mistake something happened.
You call that fun, Francis? You call that fun?
Yeah. But let me ask
you. Go out there to have fun, Francis?
Why?
When you have a relationship where you go out there to have fun.
He must be waiting. No, I'm not kakro. I'll go have fun to win. Babu to if I be party, I see so very zicky boy my age. He smile with me, we do something. So what's a bit? I don't. He must be. I made mistake. I can tell my woman sing against you. Everybody sing, you know. So
all right. Let's talk about the executive mansion since you brought it up. Before we talk about it, you know, during the bicentennial, I think they said it was the official opening. You know, most of the leaders went there. I think it was a good thing. I want to recognize that despite the politics and the political fight, you know, when there is something about the country, I think our leaders need to show up. So talking about that, let me put this picture up here. There is Elizana Benedict Cummings attending it. I think it was a good thing, but I see that he had a little fan in his hand, you know, to cool him up. And then during that same event too, this is your candidate, just like Imam Boakai. His eyes closed. He did a good thing. He has a mask on. You know, he trying to ensure that you know, all the COVID-19 regulations are, you know, are bye. But many people are saying he's sleeping. You look at the picture and tell me, you think Mr. Boakai was sleeping at the event?
No.
So what's going on there?
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Sieh. Today I will speak on the issue very well. I go to school. I have a friend. I have a sleepy aisle. That have a sleepy aisle. You know what happened every time they got sit in class? You see him when he concentrating. There's something they call concentrated mind. When he concentrating, you see that he's sleeping. You have people. You should ask this man, why are you doing this thing? If you never asked this man before, you never interact with people that have such a it's not an illness. It's as some people are created. It may be an illness, but you cannot go out there and capitalize people on people's illness, which is actually discriminatory.
Okay.
So with Arizona coming, we come here, I can just say, look, it's just a situation. I don't really know what he carried fan on the maybe they play what poor heated, they play what poor crowded, and they sitting in Liberia, this is Africa, the sitting capacity, no air conditioning in the stadium, etc., etc. So he may done it for so many reasons, right? So I can't tell. You got ask yourself question. Do you have an air conditioner in a stadium?
No, not at all.
So can you hold coming responsible for carrying fan to the stadium? No.
Not at all. Not at all.
The place is overcrowded. And the place is heated. The government responsibility before you put people together that he could kill people in the area. It's just celebration. Everybody's life are in danger. So Arizona come make us do a sort of favor. By carrying the lead fan, blowing your wife and children, it's okay. It's just way late.
Francis, let's get to a more serious discussion here. Let's leave the little bit of fries off the table. Are you sure Mr. Boakai will run comes 2023? Do you see him ready? Do you see him making preparation? Because we're hearing some things that we can't just believe. So you are supporting him. So I'm sure you're hearing some things. Talk to us honestly. Will Mr. Boakai be on the ballot comes 2023?
Let me say congratulations. Ambassador Boakai will be the next president of Liberia come 2023. Not be on the ballot paper. You're going to win the election. You're going to be the next elected president of Liberia come 2023. Not being on the ballot paper. But you actually going to be the next president of Liberia.
So thank you for that very brief and concise answer there. You say he's going to win. Where will the numbers come from?
Oh, Anthony. Mr. Sieh, thank you.
Hold on. Let me enrich my question here. Mr. Boakai had the opportunity against Mr. Weah in 2017. I think his nose got bloody because he only won one county out of the 15. And right now, as we speak, strategically speaking, politically, President Weah is doing some things that Liberians are seeing, whereas Joseph Boakai is quiet. He's not saying anything. So how will he win? He will won just one county, and he's not doing anything for the people. He has not visited them enough. I'm not sure he has even thanked them enough. Why would the people choose him this time around?
Thank you very much, Mr. Sieh. Thank you. I believe Ambassador Boakai will win the election. I will tell you the two different reasons that Ambassador Boakai is going to win. Number one, people voted for Joe. Joe vote was solidarity vote. You and I know that very well. They never vote for Joe on the issues. They never knew that they never knew Joe's capability, that Joe could not handle the country very well. They did not know. They even did not carry Joe for debate because that was solidarity. Because you know that it was to carry Joe to the political slaughterhouse, they just slaughter and murder the guy and tear him apart. So they buried this guy. So I don't talk about guy they buried, they give him political, they actually that they got against solidarity vote for the country. Ambassador Boakai being a president in the country will be on it. Everyone will be discussing. We had like Ambassador Boakai doesn't need to speak. You have other followers, you have other militants, you have other people that actually carry the message. Ambassador Boakai will run on development. Ambassador Boakai will actually run on development, good government and structuring and taking the government back to the people and not going to the people and giving them rhetoric. Ambassador Boakai will run on rhetoric. Ambassador Boakai will run on reality. The difference between reality and rhetoric is different. Most of those politicians are passing around today, they get rhetoric, they're passing around with rhetoric that they can't defend. Ambassador Boakai technically want to come to power and say something to prove that he can do. He want to do away from the traditional politics that people come and lie. One politician will come and tell you 100 stories. Then at the end of the day, one of the stories he will even said he was to actually fulfill the promise. He will give you 10,000 promise. One of the promises he was able to deliver on the promise. So Ambassador Boakai actually want to do less promises and over deliver.
So Mr. Boakai, you said, will be running on the issues.
Yeah.
If there are any issues for Mr. Boakai to run on, I think it would be the issue of healthcare. It would be the issue of education. It would be the issue of agriculture. It would be the issue of security, and the list goes on and on. So just talking about those few things, Mr. Boakai and his party, the Unity Party, they were there. The electricity issue, they didn't solve the problem. The education issue, they didn't solve the problem. The agriculture issue, they didn't solve the problem. I can't think of any one problem, all the sectors in Liberia, where we can say, yes, the Boakai Unity Party, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf did well with this and that. So when you say you will be running on the issue, is that the failures they had? For example, the executive mansion, they could not renovate that. We are renovated and now it's in use. Those are the things they'll be running on. So why would they be running on, Francis?
Mr. Sieh, but you know, government is a continuity, right?
I know.
Most of the things that the government is carrying on today is not the government proceed. It started from the past government. Most of the job that the government is doing today started from the past government. They're running on the last government platform at this point of time because the next government, first of all, the last government, Manasari, most of the money they're doing with today, Manasari, they secure this money. Most of the road fund you see today
for the projects.
Yeah. Okay. Most of the electricity project in Ambassador Boakai then signed for their loan. So when you post in Ambassador Boakai, they don't do well. If you lay the platform, if I want to give you the apartment, I give you furniture, I give you bed, I give you everything, I give you cooking pot, everything, just for you to cook. Will you tell me you done nothing for me? If I give you cooking pot, I give you bed, I rent a place for you, everything, just for you to cook for yourself?
But Francis, I can say that if you have 12 years to do that, which is a long time, I mean, that 12 years was enough for you to build a school.
But when they can't ask yourself question, how many universities the Unity Party government built? When they can't, after the country left from war, there was no infrastructure. All the infrastructure was breaking. Everything was dilapidated. The police, there was no police, there was no immigration, there was nothing. Today you have police, you have immigration, you have functional immigration, there was no justice system in the country, everything, they put it together. So when it comes to grading, I'll get a Unity Party government at least 60%. 60%, because the country was down to zero. There was no electricity, there was no drinking water, there was no university, there was no high school. So Unity Party came out and the budget was nowhere. They take a budget from 80 million to 500 million. I think they tried their best. I know they may have some lapses. Well, I know there wasn't actually 100%. No government expect to get 100% of the government, which you actually expect that. But I think for then they do like 60%. 60%. That's what I can say.
You gave Unity Party 60%?
Yeah.
On education, you get them 60% when Ellen Johnson Sirleaf said, well, JMB and myself, the education system under us became a mess, if I can paraphrase her.
Yeah, but I get them. I still get them for African government, I still get 60%. How many universities they build in the country? They build lots of universities in the country. The university of function, the University of Liberia function. Manasari built most of the bridges, and I think she did extremely well. She did well when it comes to the education sector. Get at a certain point of time, or second time, she actually miscalculate, but I think that she did extremely well for the country. I think so.
Truth telling in leadership is a good virtue, Francis. We hear those of you who supported Mr. Boakai say he is an honest man. And sometimes I want to believe it, because one of the things he said that I agree with was that when we were in power, I was a race car, meaning he has speed to move. But then he was parked. So how can this man who was parked take credit for the things that were done while he was parked in a garage? That's why he said he was being honest about it. So you think Mr. Boakai deserved credit for any of the things that were done under the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf administration when he was honest enough to say I was parked?
Yeah, but Ambassador Boakai also take response. You know the good thing about a leader taking responsibility for their actions. Okay. Whether people that surround you when they do something, because you lead them, you take responsibility for that action, then actually you go and deal with it, put in how. And Ambassador Boakai did that. When Ambassador Boakai, when they asked Ambassador Boakai, he said we stranded our opportunity. So he was just saying with our race car park and shipping blame on people. He said, like, I know Manasari government has some lapses, and this we can't just ship a blame on Mana Ellen Johnson Sirleaf or other responsible. I had to also share the responsibility, because I can't just take credit for all the good things that happen in the government and also ship blame on Manasari for all the bad things that happen in the government.
All right, thank you, Francis. Let us talk about the path to victory. Let's look at Josh Weah, and let us look at Mr. Boakai. Mr. Boakai and many other leaders in our country know that it would be difficult for one person or one party to win. That is true. Because since 2005, all the presidential election we went to second round, because there are always many candidates. So bringing the parties together, building a coalition works. We saw that with the CPP when the CPP came together. The CPP won a lot of victories in the by-elections. So that was like a silver bullet to making President Weah one-term president. That was one of the goals of the CPP. Now that CPP has died a natural death. Why the elder statesman with all the experience was in the room. He couldn't prevent it. Neither is he able to even follow on his own words that I'm going to Morovia. I have the track record of resolving issues. I'm going to resolve it. He's quiet. Why he's quiet? Joe, we have coalition is still in place. He's doing solar panel lights here and there, building markets here and there. There are some people that are celebrating him. We can say all we want. He's doing something that the people see. He's almost everywhere. Mr. Boakai is nowhere. He does not have a coalition behind him. My question is, can Mr. Boakai win without the CPP? Can he?
Thank you. You know, this is one of the major problems I have with our political system, and including you too. I think you have a same problem.
Oh, I do, Francis. You know that.
It's not about removing government, because people in the country sometimes they just don't know what they're doing. Putting people together to remove government is not a problem. The intention should not be removing Weah government. The intention should be removing Weah government, replacing Weah government with better government. The intention should be removing Weah government, bringing people out there that will behave different from what Weahs are doing. The intention should not be that they go get a group of people together and just remove Joe Weah. The intention should not be removing Joe Weah. The intention should be delivering, service delivery. They replace Joe Weah. They replace a government with a better government. And the only way to do that is to actually surround yourself with level-headed people, people that actually get like-minded, people that can understand, that can deliver your policy, that can work with you. I think the CPP are too tossy because you can't have two captains in the same ship. The ship will collapse. So the CPP were too tossy, very, very tossy. They were lucky that it didn't come up very soon. If the CPP should have formed a government, it didn't be happening in the government. Actually, it should be a punishment to the Liberian people because the government should collapse. So I think that the CPP actually is not, it wasn't actually, the CPP intention was for them to remove Joe Weah. I think that they never have a clear picture of what they want, because they have a clear picture of what they want. That other than that goes to be Liberia. And the bigger picture to be Liberia. But other than we look at the small picture, we will just sell.
All right, folks, in cyberspace, we will take a short break. When we come back, I have more biting questions for Francis Doe. And the one we'll start with is, there are people in Boakai's camp who are confused. They don't know where they are going according to them. And yet these are the big names. Those are the people that put their neck on the chopping board for Mr. Boakai. They themselves, they say, we are confused. We don't know where we're going. Whether we're staying in the CPP or we're getting out of the CPP, we hear about CUP, Coalition of Unity Party. Ure is supporting Boakai. Ure left the CPP according to his mouth, and he wants Boakai to leave. Supporters of Unity Party, some of them though, want for them to leave. Will Boakai provide the leadership that will see their exit? We will hear from some of them, and Francis will respond. A short break. We'll be right back, folks. Don't go anywhere, and you are watching Focus on Liberia.
At Focus on Liberia, we discuss everything Liberia, from education to politics, arts and culture, entertainment, agriculture, history, religion, family, and technology. Focus on Liberia uncovers and showcases the best of Liberia and shows the world the truth about Liberia. We educate, elevate, and promote all things Liberia. We conduct interviews, panel discussions, debates, and more. Tune in to Focus on Liberia on Facebook and YouTube and be a part of the stories that make up the news.
This is Focus on Liberia, and I am Dennis Jah.
Dennis Jah, thank you. And I'm Ansony Sieh. This is the Hour of Politics. Welcome to the broadcast. Before I get back to Francis, we want to advertise our upcoming shows for this week. This Thursday, our program, Tough Talking Thursday, with Dennis Wakukenyuja, will be coming on your phone, on your computer, whichever device you use to watch. The topic, unprecedented moves by President Weah to urge his name in the annals of history. They will be looking at some things that President Weah have been able to do so far. Does it mean that this man is writing his name in the books of history, that he is a president that Liberians can be proud of one day? And today, Dennis will be hosting Willen Sanvi, aka Tuki. Tuki is a musician, he's a musical artist, and a songwriter and a producer. Today, you don't want to miss it at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. It will be an exclusive with Liberian artist Tuki. You don't want to miss it. Now I'm back with you, Francis. Let's do this, folks. Let us listen to a proponent of Mr. Boakai, and then we will talk about it. Francis, listening.
That's the hope of the masses. And as it stands, vast majority actually have seen Joseph Numa Boakai as their arrowhead and their liberator. So what should have happened is that, what we expecting the Unity Party and the Joseph Boakai to do by now is to provide us direction. They told us that they were going to pull out from the CPP, but as it stands, we have not gotten any information from them. And there's no development in the CPP. The time is going. As it stands, January has already ended. We are almost in February. So are we going to spend this 2022 like we spent 2021 without any achievement? Politics is about preparation. It's about time. The time each of us play a great role in politics. But at the sense we are not doing anything, we are not engaging, and we are not giving our people the necessary information. At the sense they are over that. So Joseph Jomo Boakai actually need to speak and tell us the way forward right now at the sense for 2023.
Thank you. Thank you, Michael.
Okay. Boakai, let me speak then to what my youth chair, Mohammed.
So before we get to that other side of it, this caller supports Mr. Boakai. He said politics is about preparation and time. When our leaders speak, they told us they were leaving the CPP. When will that happen? Because they have to leave for them to prepare, or they can do it at the same time. Boakai needs to talk to us. He was confused. Let's watch. Let's listen.
Raised and to what the VCO, Michael Vani raised about direction. Where do we go? It's a good point. I get asked that question quite a lot. I'm sure people ask you too, Boakai. Not that you are a CPP person, but I get asked that question a lot. In fact, I get harassed. What is happening? And it's a shame. I don't know what to tell them. In fact, I don't know what to tell them anymore. Because what I know is that on December 20th, Unity Party Executive Committee took a vote to pull out of the CPP. And they were supposed to do that ever since. It's been 1 month. Yesterday, January 20th, made it 1 month, Boakai, since the Unity Party Executive Committee took that vote. Now, we don't have direction. I'm sorry. I can't answer that question. Joe Boakai should answer that question for you. He is the leader of the Unity Party. Now, my party that I am in has left the CPP. I'm no longer a member of the CPP. I am no longer a member of the CPP. So Joe Boakai is the one that should answer that question. Because I can't answer. I don't know. I don't know what the Unity Party is up to. If whether they want to remain in the CPP, and what they need to understand is the people are confused. Right here, you open the phone lines here.
Mr. Sieh, 1 second, I'm going to get a pen.
They don't know where they're going. They don't know what's happening. Joe Boakai needs to give his people direction. So y'all don't be asking me anymore.
Sorry, Mr. Sieh, I want to take a pen and take a note.
Anymore, what Joe Boakai is doing or Unity Party is doing, because I cannot answer that question for you because I do not know. So ask Joe Boakai directly. He is the one that will answer your question. We don't know any direction. Everybody is confused. Everybody is confused. It's been over.
But Mr. Sieh,
let's stop it there.
Yeah.
This is Mr. Boakai Lee campaigner. He has done everything to keep Joseph Boakai Kennedy alive. And here he is saying it is a shame. Unity Party voted been over the month. No decision. No direction. Joseph Boakai needs to give us, his supporters, a direction. And at some point in the video, he said, Alban said, I am confused. I don't know what is going on. My question, Costa, who is the lead campaigner, is confused. He does not know what the heck is going on. He said no direction, no leadership. Is Boakai ready for prime time?
No, Mr. Sieh, thank you very much. You have to know this issue of the CPP is too complex right now. The complexity of the situation in the CPP. That's why Ambassador Boakai is not speaking. People are asking Ambassador Boakai to leave the CPP. But Ambassador Boakai is a leader of the CPP. He's the chairman of the CPP at a point of time. If you say that Yomli Kanga was the chairman of the CPP is different, that's a different scenario. So I think Ambassador Boakai is actually trying to do everything he can do as a chairman, because he's a chairman of the CPP. If he leave the CPP dissolve. So if the CPP is going to be dissolved, the CPP has to be dissolved in a manner that everybody go on their way without hurt feeling. And second, the CPP in court. And the chairman, as a chairman, you don't expect the chairman to say, I leave him. Who are you going to get a document to? And who the paper you going to turn the paper over to? And after, ask yourself a question, after the chairmanship of Ambassador Boakai, who's supposed to be the next chairman? It shall be Mr. Yiri. So at that point of time, people start just looking at the CPP from the outside, look at the complexity. Who is the chairman? Ambassador Boakai is the chairman. When Ambassador Boakai lead the CPP, what next? And what are you waiting for? The question is, these are some of the things you should look at. Me, I sometimes ask Ambassador Boakai to speak on national issue, not the issue of the CPP, because he's the chairman of the CPP. And Ambassador Boakai leaving the CPP means that the CPP will be dissolved. The question that everyone should be asking, when the CPP will be dissolved. I can't hear you.
Thank you, Francis. I muted myself to set up the phone line for the callers to be able to call in to ask you questions. I was just saying, that is the issue.
Yeah.
When will they leave? The supporters are confused. And all this, when you look at it, it seems to be Boakai is not ready. It seems
no,
to be,
Mr. Sieh, you got to know Ambassador Boakai is the chairman of the CPP. And ask
but he has a party. He has a party. What is the party doing? What is he doing with his party? But Francis, let's go forward and talk about money.
Yeah.
You know, money cannot win election.
Mm-hmm.
But you need money to run an election.
Mm-hmm.
You need money to campaign. You need cars. Those cars will need fuel. In Liberia, they do T-shirts. You need placards. We got 15 counties. You have to send people in the field to do the work. We're talking millions. Mr. Boakai, we all know when it comes to money, he has a deficiency. That is a fact. Will Boakai be able to raise the millions for President Weah? If you look at the budget, the main office alone is getting 5.9 million for his office alone. Now put the campaign money there. I don't want to talk about the other money they gave to all the CDC officials, the ministries that they held. A lot of money. So those guys are positioned enough. Since you say Mr. Boakai is going to win, he's going to be elected the next president, where will the money come from? Because if no money, I don't see how he's going to pull this off, Francis. Money, money, money. Talk to me.
Okay, thank you. You know the difference between Ambassador Boakai and Weah and President Weah, the president of Liberia. The president presides over the resources in the country. But the president doesn't preside over the power, the voting authority over the people. That's the difference.
I know.
Distributing money to the people doesn't mean that you buy the people vote. You could get a little chunk in actually the mind of the people. When people make up their mind, it's different from buying their mind. Gone are those days that more people go behind the scene. At this point of time, more governments are finding it very difficult to operate. Even in the United States, people give Joe Biden, Donald Trump was giving people $2,000. They still vote against Donald Trump to leave power. And he was distributing $2,000 to each and every United States citizen actually for COVID-19. He still vote against Donald Trump. This is a good case study to say, like, if you go into Georgia, is actually depending on money, on capital, not the political capital. He's not depending on the power of the people to say, actually, he's not going by the number, or he's not going to vote on the issue. He's going to vote on distributing care to the poor. I can tell you for a fact, Ambassador Boakai will win by 80 or 90% of the vote.
Francis.
Yeah.
I get you. Money is important. Without money, he can't reach to the countries that he wants to reach to. But you are right. You are right. Two things can be right at the same time. If there will be no money, it will be difficult to see how he wins.
Yeah.
Now, let's bring the other part of the money aspect.
No.
The Unity Party,
Mr. Sieh, let me cut you off.
Do that.
I know Joe Biden was running. Joe Biden was the most broke guy in the election when it comes to like America election.
But
Joe
his
Biden.
party was not broke. His
But you
party
had
was
guys
not
that
broke,
have-
and
that
the people who were supporting Joe Biden, they were not broke. About more than $1 billion was spent or raised by Joe Biden.
But everyone that supported Ambassador Boakai, they are not broke.
Are you sure?
100% sure.
Who are the people that have money that can give money to Boakai?
You asking me, Mr. U.S. supporting Ambassador Boakai is the first richest guy in the country.
The guy who cannot win anything?
What?
That his money will win? You are talking about money can win. That Euro money will win the election?
Then Georgia money will win election too. It's a situation. So let's forget about the money aspect.
No, we're talking about the money aspect because France said you need money to do the work, to run the campaign. And the Unity Party you're talking about, I know for a fact that a good number of the Unity Party partisans who may have money, who may have better contact compared to Mr. Boakai, are the ones that are loyal to Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. So this selective comes back in the picture. She has contact. Even if she does not have money, she can say, hey, you can contribute to my former vice president. I think he can make a good president. That person will give money. Some people, before they gave money to Boakai, they will ask Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, you think I can give money to your former VP? Is he going to win? Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf said, no, don't waste your money. He's not going to win anything. That is a major problem, Francis.
No, but if we just look at it this way, Ambassador Boakai is not looking. The Ambassador Boakai is not looking for a chance to market, actually go market a political career because he want to raise the fund. This is a movement. This is a grassroots movement. The movement is grassroots. This is not about Unity Party. It's about just Unity Party with our Unity Party to raise funds. I don't support Unity Party. I'm not a member of Unity Party. The other supporters of Ambassador Boakai are not in Unity Party that you may not even say here or there. The willing to contribute to Ambassador Boakai, the willing to actually contribute to the country, not Ambassador Boakai. They actually willing to contribute so people can bring a good governor in the country that will actually bring total peace and stability in the country. I don't think that this you should be doing it about Unity Party versus CDC. No. The coming election will be the movement, the grassroots movement, the people movement versus CDC. That's what I want for all to be talking about.
And the grassroots movement that was building with the CPP now being dead, and I'm not sure if that grassroots movement is even in place. But maybe we should leave that. This is a very important question. I really want to bring to you here. George Weah. That guy is young. Politics, you talk about everything. They are saying Mr. Boakai, because of being so advanced in age, may not be able to stand the test of time from going from county to county to campaign. You think that would be a problem for him?
Let me ask you, before I answer the question, before Joe Biden became president, how many states you visited in the United States? He did not go to all the states in the United States.
I think he visited almost all.
Almost few.
No, he visited all. I can say that for a fact. I'm not sure of Alaska, but he visited most of the states.
Okay, most of the states. During the campaign time, you can guarantee that Ambassador Boakai will visit most of the country in Liberia. Ambassador Boakai always in Lofa. The road from Monrovia to Lofa, the road is very, very bad. Always in Lofa, always in Bombay country and all the places. So what will actually prevent him from going to other countries? If you can go to Lofa, you can go to Bombay country, and you can go to other countries, and actually making agriculture in those areas. What will prevent him from going to the other countries?
Okay. All right, Francis, let's see if we can get to the phone line.
Thank you.
Let's see if we can get to the phone line. Folks, the phone number to call, that number is in the scrolling text below, but let me display it on the screen. 605-313-6004. enter the code 791-403 or hash. That is the number, the only number to call to participate. You can call in right now. We'll take your call. If you have a question, if you have a comment, you will be allowed to contribute. So, folks, that is the number. That number is in the scrolling text, but I will leave it on the screen. While we wait for your calls, we will take a little short break here. When we come back, we'll start taking your calls. Francis, we'll be right back. All right, folks, it is about time for you to roll in your calls. I see that callers are already lined up, so let us start taking calls here quickly. And Francis, get ready to take note while we hear from these callers. Our first caller here, caller, your phone number ends in 4023, and it says yes, a Minneapolis number. Your name, and they hear you. Let us hear you. Caller, are you there?
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, this Cyrus calling from Minneapolis. I mean, I've been listening to the interview for a while, and it seems that it's a walking contradiction. You see, money cannot guarantee that you win an election, but money is the most important critical piece that will make you to win an election.
Yeah.
He's telling you that Joseph Boakai doesn't need money to contest. Don't forget, Joseph Boakai was an incumbent in 2017, and Georgia was an outsider running to be president. So it means Joseph Boakai has government structure and resources everything to his advantage. If you fully beat Georgia, then why make you think now that Georgia with unlimited amount of money as compared to Joseph Boakai is going to win an election? Then secondly, he said, you don't need money, but Joseph Boakai got people with money that support him. If you believe in that philosophy, how can you make a case that Bernard United didn't have money supporting Joseph Boakai's guarantee that he's going to be competitive when he cannot even win Harrisburg? He ran the presidential, and somehow you want us to believe that because Joseph Boakai got people that support him with money, then I mean it's a contradiction where it makes no sense. Then let me say, was the whole issue about Joseph Boakai leadership. I have never seen anywhere that Joseph Boakai display leadership. Whether it was the TP2 structure, whether it's about the internal ranking within the collaborating party. Look, Joseph Boakai cannot even unite United Party.
Cyrus, are you there? His number is freezing there.
It's laughing.
Just 1 second.
All right.
There is nowhere, there is no track record of Joseph Boakai showing leadership on anything. He don't speak on any critical national issue. He don't talk on literally.
Thank you. Thank you, Cyrus. Thank you so very much. Let us take our next caller here. That is Jimmy Eastman. Jimmy, let us hear you quickly.
Hey, Anthony. I'm glad that you brought Mr. Doe on the program. It's very interesting because I have two questions for him. One is, wasn't he once a big ANC supporter with Cummings? Okay. But the main question I have for him, Liberia is in a situation that they need a lot of drastic changes. The corruption is rampant. We have systems collapsing that are not working. We need to direct our workforce in such a rigorous manner to turn Liberia's trajectory to success. This will require a type of leadership that is strong, adamant, and able to precisely outline what people need to do. Does Francis actually believe that Ambassador Boakai can turn Liberia's trajectory around at his advanced age, and given the track record that he has not shown to be a forceful or willful person, today this is what we need. So does Francis really believe that Boakai can bring about this change, or this is just political chatter?
Thank you.
That's my question.
Thank you. And folks, if you call, please be brief as much as possible. There are too many callers here. Let us take this one from caller. Your phone number ends in 6494. Quickly, let us hear you. Your name.
Yeah, hello, hi. My name is Sieh. I'm calling from New Jersey. Anthony.
Yes.
Anyway, thank you for bringing Francis, but there's one more thing I wanted to say. That's a suggestion. You don't have to. If you can bring Francis on your show, you need to bring perspective, because he ain't perspective. I got the same house. One more thing. I remember a wife called her show. All these people that pushing Boakai. Come stop there. Come and need to listen to them. Let them use the money to run Boakai campaign. If they don't use that money to run the campaign, all they can, why Boakai not talking? Why he's not telling the Liberian people that when he was for the on, he just sitting and everything is just there, kind of inauguration day before he started. And one more thing, they yesterday, they only don't have the strength. They yesterday, you were on the stadium sleeping. So at what time you're going to wake up to do the Liberian people job? Let the people be realistic and start fighting good process to come through the country.
Thank you.
That's the broader need to stop this. Thank you.
All right. Let's take this other caller. Francis, we have a lot of them, so bear with me here. This caller phone number ending in 5983. Let us hear you quickly. You have a minute.
Okay. Anthony, because here, how you doing? This is Bud Dino calling from the city of Cedar Rapids, to this city in Iowa.
Thank you.
Mr. Sieh, you made a lot of, you and Francis are getting along today. You're not talking harsh, your voice is soft. But let me say this. I'm from a different angle. I'm a member of VOTE, Vision for Liberia Transformation.
Okay.
Dr. Wapo is my standard bearer. But what I came here to say is something going on in the social media. That Dr. Wapo has a fake degree, while I feel. I think I send it to you. If I didn't, then that was a mistake. And I would like for you, if the possibility exists in future on your show, to call Dr. Wapo. I did a feasibility study, and I got all the information from his school in Illinois, where he obtained his bachelor's degree. That's one.
Yeah, because of time, let do this. Talk to Mr. Wapo. Talk to Mr. Wapo. I'm ready. 10 a.m. 10 a.m. Minnesota time tomorrow for that interview. Is he's ready? Come to the subject here quickly. There are too many people waiting. Please.
All right. Thank you. Let's get back to the subject. Listen, Mr. Sieh. Elections in Liberia, if money can win elections in Liberia, Barrett will only be senator today. We enter into our pocket. We pay $5. We pay $25. We pay $10 from where Barrett belongs at today. He's a senator. Although to every human there is earth. Mr. Weah can get millions of dollars, he will never ever win in Liberia. Let me tell you the reason why. A lot of things have been happening in our country. Numerous deaths. Our four officers were killed in Liberia. Children been raped in Liberia. People been beaten in Liberia. Come on.
Fine point there. So who you think gonna win? Mr. Boakai can beat Mr. Weah?
All the political parties, let's see what happens during the second round.
Okay.
One political party can vote. Let's see what happens in Liberia. No one political party.
Thank you. Thank you. That's why the CPP should hold if Boakai will ever have a chance, but we don't see that. Thank you. Because of time, please let me leave you. please, because of time. Let me bring in this caller. Matthew, I think Sieh, let hear you quickly.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I appreciate you allowing me to just make a statement and ask a question.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing is that.
Please speak a little louder. You seem to be low there, please.
Okay, Joseph Boakai is going to win the presidency in Liberia. That's a fact.
Okay.
Because if you look at all the Liberians that are on the social media, they are all residing in America. Joseph Boakai's voters are in Liberia. The second thing is that we put money together for Darren Taylor, who will do the same thing for Joseph Boakai. It doesn't need millions. He just needs few dollars to transfer himself from Taylor to the other location.
Thank you.
The second thing is that I'm sick and tired of hearing people talking about AIDS. AIDS is wasteful in our country. Why is it about somebody being old? It's not a treat for everybody. Joseph Boakai is going to be the best president of our country.
Thank you so very much. He said Boakai will be the next president. Let us hear this caller. Joseph, quickly. Joseph, where are you joining us from? You have a minute. Joseph, are you there? Your phone number ends in 6897. Joseph, are you there?
Oh, okay. I'm here.
Oh, sorry, but the number, the name here say Joseph. So go ahead. Let hear you. Let us hear you.
This is Margaret, and I'm calling. I want to say thank you for having Mr. Doe on this today.
Is this Margaret Mampu Dyson?
Yes, this is she.
All right.
Okay, and I'm happy to have Mr. Doe on. He's on point. And I want to say something here. The caller that said Mr. Boakai was sleeping, he wasn't sleeping. I think I just discovered something. When you lower your head, and it's like you're reading something, you will appear sleeping because your eyes are looking downward. Number two, Mr. Boakai doesn't need money right now to be able to win the election. He will win the election. His economy is going out.
So all Boakai needs to do is just sit by. He does not need a penny.
No,
and he will win. And how do you know that Mr. Boakai was not taking a nap?
Watch and see what happens next.
Mm-hmm.
We are right now in camping mood because this is what's gonna happen. You guys gonna see more of this guy soon. You guys gonna see more of him.
Oh, we heard that many times. You're gonna see him. You're gonna see him, and he's never around.
George Weah did not appear anywhere. Did not make no speech anytime. He did not even go for a debate. And you're putting there, he won. He won.
So Boakai does not have to do anything. He will win. He will use the George Weah scenario.
No, it doesn't mean that he doesn't have to do anything. David can. Let's go into campaigning and see what happens.
His supporters are saying they are confused. No leadership, no direction. Election is about preparation. Election is next year. Nothing is in place whatsoever.
At a point that statement was made by Costa. Because we're not seeing whatever was happening. And he was trying to flush him out.
All right.
You're going to see more of him.
Thank you.
I want to applaud you this morning. And the caller that said, so bring on Prophet Key because he brought on a friend today. Why are you going to compare him? They are not the same.
Thank you.
I really enjoy your input this morning. Thank you, sir. I got to go.
Yeah, thank you. All right, let us bring in this caller here. Phone number ends in 5356. Francis, it says, yeah, let you quickly. Let us hear you.
Yeah, my name is Demo George, and I'm calling from Arlington, Texas.
All right.
First of all, thank you for the program, Ansony. Mm-hmm. I think you're guest in the studio, and that's the problem with most UPS. They're always confused when they're talking about Boakai and linking it with Eddie Johnson Sally. Mm-hmm. On the one hand, he spent a lot of time insulting and denigrating Ellie. And the second hand, he's clapping for the policies he put in place. The two cannot work. Either Mr. Boakai decides to embrace everything of Ellie, or he decides not to. But I don't think he will win the election. Because once the CBD collapsed under the leadership of his Boakai that has been continuously silent, and continually inept. It shows a lot of us in Liberia that he has no capability.
Did you say Mr. Boakai is inept? Hold on. Did you say Mr. Boakai is inept? That is a very harsh language. What's your evidence to that?
I'm saying once he continually shows that he's inept because of the CPP. He's the leader of the CPP right now, is he not? But under his leadership, we have nothing going on in the CPP. The presidential State of the Nation was made. There was no reaction from the CPP. The CPP
but let me ask you a question.
Mr. Boakai. So if under his leadership the CPP collapse, I can assure Mr. Boakai that he will never be the next president of the Republic of Liberia because he has never shown leadership.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Francis. The calls are so many. We will pause and get your response for the first ones that we received. So quickly.
No, let me go to that. My sister, I'm going to speak to the first person I was speaking. I said talk about money. The first guy was talking about money. I want for most of you people to have a mindset, to shape your mindset. I say you need money to win elections. Everything is changing. Every season they're changing. We live on a social media age right now. This is not 1945 that you need to get car to move from one village to another village. This is social media age. As we're speaking right now, people listening to all across the country.
Yeah.
Across the country. The Ambassador Boakai need to actually be physical on the ground. No. When Ambassador Boakai speak today, go viral. So there's different way of propagating the message. There's thousands, billions of ways at the point of time for Ambassador Boakai to actually propagate a message. So the situation about money, forget about the money. Because right now I'm using my internet to actually talk to people, thousands of people, so many people who follow the video today. Go at those days that you need to have a traditional media. You have to pay for airtime, you have to pay for all these things. Go at those days. So well, back in the day when people say you need money to win election, you need money to do media publicity and all these things. Gone are those days. So I think that when it comes to money, I think Ambassador Boakai probably need money to go to few countries. Actually, I think the media, the social media at that point of time, actually is a tool that Ambassador Boakai will make proper use out of it. Any opportunity that Ambassador Boakai will make proper use out of it. Anything that can across Ambassador Boakai way, look at it as a resource. That's what I think. So when a person is talking about money, I don't think that Ambassador Boakai need money right now. So if you think that Weah buying the private jet, Weah get all these things, you will vote for Weah because he give you money. It's your constitutional right to go do that. But not everyone will do that. The second person I thought that was saying Ambassador Boakai will never win election in the country because he doesn't have money. The question I ask you, the question I should be asked you, how much money do you need to vote for Weah? The question, how much money did Weah need to vote to actually pay so the people can vote for him? That's the question. And the question is, how much money did Thomas Farah spend in Mosurado County, Thomas Farah and Weah? How much money they spent in Mosurado County? And what was the result? The question is, how much money Benson Garfield then spent in Grand Bassa County, buying the people vote and buying the poor vote? What was the result? So when it comes to money, I can tell you, I can actually say most of the people that wondering about money, that Ambassador Boakai wondering about that. You just forget it. You just worry about how you're going to inaugurate Ambassador Boakai in 2023.
Thank you, Francis. So many callers. Let us get to these ones. Did I bring in Ben Jonah? No, Ben Jonah. Ben Jonah, let us hear you. You have a minute, please.
Yeah. So what I want to say is that it is very hard for me to understand your guest. Starting next time, if you need an interpreter, we will appreciate that because
no. Ben, hold on. I will not allow you. What is true is you're right, but I think that statement is not respectful. To say Francis would need an interpreter, I don't think it's a good thing to say to the gentleman. Yeah,
Mr. Sieh, 1 second. Mr. Sieh, do you let me respond to this guy?
No, let him finish, Francis.
No, wait, I mean, hold him there and respond. Then let him finish. I want to hold him there and respond.
Francis, let him land.
No, I mean, Mr. Sieh, do me a favor. I mean, I'm not going to
Francis,
argue with
I'm
him.
holding him accountable, so you and myself can jump on him. All right, please.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, go ahead, Ben, please.
All right. So, so the next thing that I wanted to tell people here is that you need money in politics. And the issue about direct villain issues, that was an outlier issue. That is just 1 in a million. You see those kind of things happening. You don't use that one incident as a measuring tool.
Mr. Sieh, I'm not going to respond to the lunatic. That guy I'm talking called the lunatic out, man. I'm not going to respond to the lunatic.
Francis, please be patient. You will have time to respond, please. Go ahead, Ben.
If you have not been into politics before, that's the only way you will want to say that money is very important. Weah is broke, he doesn't have money, and if he dares try to go against Georgia will beat him. The only person that can win election in that country now is Mr. Cummings.
Thank you. And Francis, you will have your time to respond, please. Let us hear from 0450, last 4 digits. Please, you have a minute.
This is Batango Bedete in Apoyo from Minnesota.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to make a few points. First of all, I appreciate you for like that. You should be mindful of this language discussion. For me, I agree with all what Francis is saying, but I just have to respect him so we can have a cordial discussion.
Certainly.
Mr. Francis talked about money. He said that we are in a modern time, and I just want to ask him if he should go back and look at how much money we spend in the USA in the past election. We spend up to $14.4 billion United States dollars just on campaigning. Money doesn't mean you're going to get it for cash. What it means is that you have to spend on your campaign infrastructure. That's what we're talking about. The UP or the CPP has that amount of money to be able to run campaign in various counties. That's what we're talking about, because you need to have infrastructure, campaign infrastructure. So to lay out your vision, your plan, so the message can easily reach other people. That's what we're talking about. Does the Unity Party has that money? Does Boakai has that connection to be able to raise that money? That's the first question. The second question is that you compare traveling in the United States to that Liberia. You can see what I say that we don't have the infrastructure to be able to move from one point to another point.
Right.
So do you think traveling in Liberia is just easy like that? Mr. Doe, it's not easy. So when you compare the United States, traveling in the United States for the service, it's not good. That's not good.
Yeah, it can be exhausting. It can be exhausting when you're on the car is stuck in the mud.
Yeah, he's not traveling a jet plane or a helicopter or what or a chopper to be able to move from one point to another point. So all these bounds down to money. So money is a serious challenge, but Francis just admit the fact that these things are true. So the last thing I want to make is about Francis. I mean, how do you think UP can be able to exit this agreement that they made with CPP when they stated that they have some constitutional challenges? They say that you cannot leave the agreement unless you wait until next election coming. So how would Boakai be breaking that agreement, disrespecting the Constitution and walking away? How would he manage that?
Thank you. That's a good question there, Francis. Mark that down. Lots of callers. I will take 2 more and bring you in to respond, Francis. Let me take this one from Edward. Phone number ending in 4309. Please, you have a minute. Too many callers. Go ahead. Brucious Edward, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here. Ansony, thank you for getting me in. One thing I've been listening to Mr. Doe with his support of Mr. Boakai and I don't have a problem with it, but I have a problem with him supporting more Ali with his behavior concerning the lady or the girl that he impregnated and all this thing. So my question to him is, will he be okay with his daughter be that disgrace or that talk about in a social media age And if he is fine with it, because he told me, he said in your broadcast that, oh, if he was going out there and see somebody and they could do this. What is the moral of our political leaders or our public figures in Liberia? What is our what is your moral?
All right.
That is my question to him.
Thank you. Francis, let me take this last one and then I'll bring you in to respond. This one is from Harris Bajibo, or Harrison Bajibo. Did I get the name right? Let us hear you quickly. You have a minute.
Yeah, the name is Bajibo.
Okay, Bajibo. Bajibo. Go ahead, Mr. Bajibo.
Yeah, I call to buttress friendship.
Thank you.
Even on the issue of Mo Ali is approximately between 40 years and 30 something, and the lady there is a lady of age. People keep saying girl, but like I think she's around 20. And most often in America here, when they're giving news, they will not say 20-year-old girl, say 20-year-old woman. So I don't see why the diffusing thing about it. It wasn't Mo Ali that went on the social media to talk about how the woman, I think the only thing was that she demanded certain money and it came out on social media. So, I mean, Mo Ali is also a young man. You know, so like even
so you would not spare a time to do what Mo Ali did, right?
No, I would not spare time to do what he did. But what I'm saying here, they are all young people, and even the same thing happened in Bill Clinton case here with Monica Lewinsky issue. So I mean, him is infallible when it comes to those kind of things. So it's not.
And you know that Bill Clinton was impeached. It's just that he got pardoned, right? Do you know that?
What I'm saying here, it has nothing to do with Joseph Boakai, and it's not something that Joseph Boakai is supposed to talk in.
All right. Any other thing you want to say?
Yeah,
saying you are making excuses for Mo Ali.
I heard you asking Francis about the executive marshal and the failure of the 12 years developmental project that Ellen, the military party government did not undertake. And what I want to say here is that the vice president, only the vice president is an assistant to the president. He cannot overrule any decision, even if he proposed something to the president and the president does not agree with it. He cannot force the president.
All right. Thank you.
Overrule the president's decision. And another thing, listen, another thing people keep attributing to this old man is that all the bookers how they call it, contract, concessional agreement that was taken, that was signed during early time, and the old man was presiding over the
brown envelopes, maybe.
But if there is no time to be broken at all, then what do you want the man to do? Because it's a procedure. If you vote, there must be a tie. If there is a tie, then he can break a tie. And one credit that I gave Joseph Boakai is being in the government that was swimming in corruption for 12 years, and that woman was able to come off clean.
You sure Boakai is clean? What is the audit report that says he's clean? Name me one audit report. Was he ever audited?
If he was not audited, it cannot be attributed to him, but we were there when...
It can be attributed to him because as a leader, he should know that every government office needs to be audited. And if he's not audited, he can't preach that he's clean because only the audit will establish that you are clean.
Yeah, but there were scandals. There were a whole lot of scandals that came on, and none of them even were resolved.
All right, Mr. Bajibo, because of time, we have to leave it there. I think you made the case for Mr. Boakai. Final caller, 8589. Let us hear you, and you have a minute, please. Caller, are you there? Caller with phone number ending in 8589. Please speak now. That caller seems not to be ready, Francis. That would do it for our callers. Please let us hear you. Your response to the questions and comments.
Thank you. First of all, I'm going to start with it. Most of the people that concentrate on Ambassador Boakai, how you going to get money to actually to run a campaign. I'm going to say this to many of you people that actually worry about how Ambassador Boakai to raise money to run a campaign. Just forget about that. Just forget, because at a point of time before, the question was Ambassador Boakai too old, he can't do the job. That was the first argument. Say you people forget about the age, now you people bringing the money, you just forget about that, because I think that shouldn't be important. Say you people say he's very old, he cannot make it, he concentrate about the age. You forget about the age, now you look at it to be threat to job where you concentrate about the money. I think that would be the most easier thing that some of you need to worry about now. So you could forget about the age. I'm going to go to Ben. I listen to Ben. Ben, I think, sorry for me to say this, my brother, I think you need to go see the psychiatrist, because if you still listening to me, I'm speaking English, you still listening to me, you call to respond to me, you say I need an interpreter, I think you need to see the psychiatrist, because you don't understand the complexity of the grammatical expression, and you don't understand yourself. I'm going to go to Ben. I'm talking to Ben. I know you still listening to me. Because if I say I don't understand Anthony Sieh, then I still commenting on Anthony Sieh, I'm going to be out of my mind. So first of all, I'm not being rude. I just think that you need to go see the psychiatrist. And that's the problem that most of you ignorant people that sit in the Western world do. Most of you people don't understand.
Francis, I was able to call Ben out that it was me and was not nice for him to say you need interpreter when he is a Liberian and understand Liberian English, for him to have said that it was me. So I will not allow you to do the same thing. You know, in this discussion about politics, let us all be respectful. So please, I will not allow you go further. Go ahead.
Okay, I will continue. I will continue with Ben. Ben, first of all, I want to know what's your level of education. We're discussing politics, and we're not discussing how do we call it widow market or T1 market yet. First of all, what we're discussing here is politics. When you talk about raising foreign politics, if I ask you right now, describe what they call Ambassador Boakai doesn't have money to win election. If I say describe it, how the politician raise funds, you won't tell me. So I don't want people to be coming on Anthony Sieh platform and be speaking for a ignorant perspective. I think you're speaking for a total ignorant perspective. Because if Anthony Sieh were to ask you right now, what do you mean by raising funds? What do you mean that Ambassador Boakai doesn't have a fund to sponsor? In which capacity you're talking about? You're not going to elaborate. You just copy the work from other people. So I don't want to give you the credit there. So I actually think that you should first of all go do research. What is government? What is political party? How party respond? Because first of all, you asking many of the people that are asking Ambassador Boakai, where you going to get from? I know what he's speaking from. He's speaking from concern, but for Benny, he's speaking from an ignorant perspective. Ambassador Boakai can make a deal. You know that very well, Anthony Sieh. Anybody can kind of make a deal with Ambassador Boakai if you look at the chances of getting to the presidency. So at the point of time, Ambassador Boakai had lots of opening doors.
So Mr. Boakai can make deals too?
I'm saying he have a lot of opening doors. All the doors are open.
There was one open for him in Ghana. He didn't take that one. Was the money small?
Because first of all, you want to base on integrity. You want to run integrity. So people are concerned what Ambassador Boakai will get money. So don't worry about where you're going to get money.
Deal making in politics, Francis, some of those deals can be very questionable because someone is giving you money. Listen now, Francis, the person can be bringing money to you.
Yeah.
For you to use for the campaign so that you can give them something in return. That kind of deal can be like you're selling the country's assets to somebody because you want to get political power. You think?
That's what Weah did. Weah did to Manasari. He saw a party to Manasari. So what I'm saying, there's lots of opportunities.
So you never know that. Do that too, right?
No. I don't think I
so how will he make a deal that will not be questionable?
No, I don't. That's what I'm saying. I said this. I'm trying to make a case and say this is a politics that's going to be an opening door for other opportunity to come through, to people to kind of fund you, people that get interested in the country to do businesses and other things. So we're raising funds for Ambassador Boakai. I think that people should actually, I think that should be the least thing that we should worry about now.
And we are hearing that Ellen Johnson Sirleaf has vowed that Boakai will not be president while she's alive. She's going to do everything to stop him from succeeding. I think Mr. Boakai should be worried. What plan does Mr. Boakai have in place to not see Ellen, desire?
But Mr. Sieh, that go in, Mr. Sieh. You know the power that Manasari and few other African leaders have in the African region by the African Union. You see the African Union crumbled. How many coup d'etat you see around there? Why Manasari they're not using that power? Manasari is not God. Why you even start calling Manasari into the Manasari? It's just waste of time. How many times you see Manasari say he left the government? How many times you see to the United States and have a convention?
Said earlier that it was Manasari who stabbed Joseph Boakai in the back. That's why he didn't win.
Because at that point of time, you were presiding over the country capitals, you were presiding over the money in the country, but at that point of time, you couldn't have one vote to poll. I don't think that is citizen.
But some of you are also saying that Ellen Johnson Sirleaf and Weah, they are in good terms. So they
which is good
together and stop Mr. Boakai.
Which is good because the question is
actually Mr. Boakai. It may be
no,
good for Ellen.
It's actually good for Ambassador Boakai. Because when you put two criminals together, those are two criminals, those are two people that rule the country before that actually that all their character is in question. So by then surrounding ourselves, we are then coming to Ambassador Boakai to say, oh, Ambassador Boakai tried to make a deal with Ellen Johnson Sirleaf so he can protect her when he become president. I think that Manasari being around Weah right now, I think it's actually the opportunity for Ambassador Boakai for him actually to capitalize on that to be a president in the country.
Francis, time is our enemy.
Thank you.
This is my final question. And this question again will be on leadership. Will be on, because when you are a leader, you have to be able to stand, defend, advocate, and fight for what is right, and represent your people when they are being denied. Someone would say that should be one of the things we should be looking for in Mr. Boakai. Based on my assessment, Mr. Boakai has not been able to prove it that he can stand up for anything for his country and his people. That brings me to the premise of my question. Brandon Samokai is from Lofa County. He is Mr. Boakai's senator who got elected, if I can put it that way. Mr. Boakai campaigned for him. He was on Mr. Boakai's party's ticket. He was accused of stealing AFM money. But Ellen Johnson Sirleaf have had a conversation with the CDC government that, oh no, why are you saying it's not actually true? So George Weah and Ellen Johnson Sirleaf had agreed that they will pay back the AFM money. The government of President Weah paid over $400,000, confirming that there was an agreement that the money was used by the Liberian government and not necessarily J. Brandon Samokai. The same CDC now, because they don't want to see Brandon Samokai, they turn around and using politics in the court and now denying him. The people of Lofa County are now being represented in the Senate today because of politics. This is how I see it. And Mr. Boakai knows that this is politics. And yet, he is not standing up for his county. He's seeing this wrong being done to his county. He's not saying anything. He's not doing. Boakai is even relying on the country devil that said nobody will enter here for his county to be represented. If Boakai cannot fight for what is right for his county, why should Liberian people trust him, Francis? That's my
point. But the problem is, I just disagree with you when you say Ambassador Boakai is not fighting for a county. Ambassador Boakai is like, it's a statement. You have to understand that Ambassador Boakai is a statement. The difference between a supporter and a leader. Well, anything that Ambassador Boakai say right now, because he be a statement, people take it for granted compared to a supporter. I really believe that Ambassador Boakai looking for a way to deal with this situation. With the situation between Brandon Samuka and Joe Weah is a situation that really is an issue that very complex. The complexity of the situation, Ambassador Boakai,
the court has given a final ruling. It been weeks now, and he's still finding what to do.
But what do you expect for him to say? What do you expect for him to say?
Something. Talk about the unfairness.
Yeah.
Talk about the denial of Lopa County being represented in the Senate. At least say something. But he's relying on the country devil.
No, I don't think Ambassador Boakai relies on the country devil. I think Ambassador Boakai is just sitting and closely monitoring the situation in the country.
So he's always sitting, closely monitoring, and does nothing.
Yeah, but the question is, I know very well that Ambassador Boakai should be speaking on issue in the country, which is totally right. But the question, ask yourself a question. The president in the country, every time people speak on issue in the country, people demonstrate, etc., nothing is changing. Ambassador Boakai have a saying before, he said, because of mosquito, you can't burn your house. So because of Joe Weah doing all this thing, you can't go on the street and be making statement that actually will derail the peace in the country, that destabilize the country. I think because he's a leader, what he actually see the power will take it serious. I see he's just watching it and he's proceeding with conscience. I think actually he's seeing everything that happening in the country. I think at the appropriate time he will come to address the nation. But if you don't just want to make a comment, I would derail the peace in the country. I think so.
Mr. Boakai said, and I quote, "You cannot give a man's job to a boy."
Yeah.
He said that because he saw Joshua as a boy.
Yeah.
Why he saw Joshua as a boy, he said the man is not addressing national issue. He said the man is quiet. The thing that Mr. Weah was a bobo senator, he was not saying anything. Do we have a bobo opposition political leader who says nothing? Like President.
No, Mr.
So how is Mr. Boakai not a boy when his definition of being a boy is says nothing, provide no direction for the country whatsoever? Is he a boy? I think he is one here.
No, Mr. Sieh, I think you may get it a little bit wrong, Mr. Sieh. Ambassador Boakai is not an independent at a point of time. You have to know what is happening to Ambassador Boakai right now. It's tightening him to speak right now. Because you have to know the situation. If the CPP were together and Ambassador Boakai stayed the CPP chairman, you can help him.
He said he was going to resolve it. That's why he told the BBC.
Yeah, but the problem is you try your best. First of all, in a conflict resolution, the other party had to be waiting to resolve the conflict. But the other parties are saying, I'm going to go to court, I'm going to go there. What do you expect for him to do? He just tries to leave.
Even leaving, then you leave. Even leaving is a problem for him. So which one is he going to be able to get?
No, leaving is not a problem for Ambassador Boakai. I don't think that leaving is a problem. You
listen to the audio. They voted over 1 year ago. It has not been announced officially before talking about putting it in force.
But he's a chairman of the CPP. Before he lead the CPP, had to be dissolved. He's a hell of the CPP.
Then dissolve the CPP and start wasting our time, Francis. Election will be next year.
But the case stay in court. You got to make sure and sit and look at the situation we're coming. The CPP is in a situation right now that complex. Right. You have a case in court and coming stay in court, etc., etc. So Ambassador Boakai, because at that point of time, they can call the CPP, all the members to go and testify and actually subpoena them. So at that point of time, dissolving the organization is not, I don't think it's the right thing to do right now. I think waiting until the case comes to an end, dissolving the CPP should be the right thing.
Mr. Doe, I want you to give your parting and closing statement, and I want you to answer this question, and you say as your closing. Is Mr. Boakai in a situation that he can handle? Close with that.
Okay. My closing statement will be like, thank you to everyone that listening to me. First, I'd love to say thanks to everybody. I appreciate your time. You don't have to be here, but I actually appreciate your time. Everyone I call, I appreciate your call. I had it from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you taking the time to be here. I sincerely commend you, Paul. God bless you, Paul. God actually God strengthen you. God strengthen your pocket, whatever you get money to buy credit. God give you more. I know most of you in Liberia, you don't get money to actually to eat. Sometimes you have to take out money to sacrifice money to put in phone to listen to. I actually appreciate you. What I'm saying may not go down well with everyone, which you don't have the same view, but I think I ought to always say Liberian. I appreciate everyone that listening to me. But to your question, how Ambassador Boakai in a situation that he can't handle? Ambassador Boakai is not in no situations. Arizona come is one that in a situation that he can't handle. Like he's a criminal defense lawyer. Ambassador Boakai are waiting at putting a campaign material together. How can he handle how can he be in a situation that he can't handle? The person that they asked him to bring the CPP framework is the person that in a situation that he can't handle. So for me, I think Ambassador Boakai is doing extremely well. He's just making a preparation to get ready for 2023. Because as 2023, he had to do a preparation. The incoming president in the country actually putting things together, talking to other foreign diplomats, actually pulling things behind the scene. I think that's what he's doing. I don't think that he's in a situation that he can handle. All the situation that Ambassador Boakai in, he handle it. Actually, he in charge. He fully in control of a situation at a point of time. So Ambassador Boakai no situation that he can handle. All the situation is in control. Thank you very much, Mr. Sieh. Thank you.
Francis, thank you. And folks, this is what I'm going to close the broadcast with. Like it or not, the election will come. Like it or not, our people will vote. Like it or not, Mr. Boakai may, I'm not sure, may be on the ticket. Like it or not, he may be elected. Like it or not, he may get defeated again. And that would be devastating and humiliating again. Is Mr. Boakai in the situation that he cannot handle? I would say yes. The situation of money, he's in it, he can't handle it. The situation of the CPP being in chaos, is dying, is dead naturally in his hands. He can't handle it. His party voted to pull out. He can't implement the party's decision. Court, case, non-case, but cases, he can't handle it. He promised he will resolve the issues in the CPP, that he had a track record to do so. Again, he's in a situation he cannot handle. Mr. Boakai, you are in a situation that you cannot handle right now. Do you have the ability to handle that situation? If you do, show it now. The situation of addressing the issues that are affecting our country. Mr. Boakai is in a situation he can't even handle it. The situation with Lofa County not being represented in the Senate, a Unity Party candidate from his county senator has been denied by the government of Liberia from taking seat. That too is a situation Mr. Boakai, as the elder and statement from Lofa County, as a leader of Lofa County, he's in that situation. He can't handle it. He could not even handle the little situation with Moali. So the question whether or not Mr. Boakai is in a situation he cannot handle, I think he is. If he wants to be president, he has to be able to handle these situations that I need and other situations that will be coming his way. Number one, the Unity Party is divided. It will soon explode. Will he handle that? When he cannot handle these ones that we know, only time will tell, and time will tell only. I'm Ansony Sieh. I brought you the hour of politics. I remain unapologetic about asking a tough question, talking tough, because we need a better country. Unfortunately, we have to have leaders to help us do so. And we have not found any yet. And that is the surge I'm on. Until I catch you again, another time on the hour of politics, here I focus on Liberia. The song says, we are all Liberians. And I hope you enjoy your Western, what's it called? Valentine. I don't do Valentine. I do my traditional day. Bye-bye, folks.
We are Labira. Labira is our